We hope you enjoy this clip. Before you watch it, please hit that subscribe button.
This is a change the subject a little bit, but I was going to ask this earlier, and then we were talking about something different. Do you have a favorite Joakim Noah story?
Oh man. So I have several stories. That my favorite one with Joakim was we were in Florida in our dorms, and there was a hurricane coming through. And a lot of the students, got to go home and things like that. We couldn't get out of there, so we had to stay in our dorm room. And our freshman year, him and I shared a room together, and our suite mates were Corey Brewer and Torian Green, our point guard. So it was the four of us in a 2-bedroom kind of suite, and the storm was coming through. They shut everything down on campus. We didn't have cars or anything, and the only thing that was open was it was called Gator Diner. So it's this the food place where we used to go eat, and it was about, I don't know, maybe half a mile from our place. And the storm hit that morning. We didn't have any food in our place, and it was pretty windy, trees falling all over the place. Like it was just crazy. And we were starving. Like we literally had no food. And it was, we slept in. It was like 10 in the morning. Like we kind of stay all day. And then by like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, we're like starving. We're hungry. And Corey and Torian, it's the middle of the storm. They're like, we're not going outside. Like, that's just not happening. Like, I don't care. We'll starve. We're not going to go out and get some food. So like Joe and I were like, hey, let's risk it. Let's just go out there and see if we can make it to Gator Diner. We're going to starve here, and let's see what happens. So like we put a bunch of clothes on, and we're walking down the middle of the street. I believe he grabbed his boombox. So he used to walk around campus with a big boombox, and he used to play a lot of reggae. And he used to like just walk around dancing all the time. And like we'd be so embarrassed to be walking with him so that we would like stand behind sometimes, because he was just completely losing it, just dancing around campus and just being loud. You know how Joe is. So we're walking with the boombox in the middle of the street. Like there's no cars, and there's literally, I mean, the wind is going crazy. There's trees falling on the side and things like that. Like it was pretty bad, but we actually made it to Gator Diner, and it was like heaven. Like we ate like we've never eaten before, and like we just stuffed ourselves. And like, and then after we finished eating, we're like, should we take some to Torian and Corey, because they didn't want to come with us? And Joe was like, nah, we're not. And I was like, it's like we should. So like we ended up being, good teammates, good friends, and we brought them some food. And then we went back to the dorms, brought the food back, and then Joe had a camcorder, so we went outside and we recorded the storm and everything. And we were talking about how we were going to share it with our kids one day, that nobody was going to believe us in the middle of the hurricane, and we got through. So it was a pretty, a pretty, I guess, kind of wild story. But it just shows how Joe is, Joe is different. Joakim is different. So like, in the middle of the hurricane, we got it together, and we went and took our chances and went and got some food.
Sounds like a perfect encapsulation of Joakim Noah. And obviously Tommy put you on the spot, and you had to come up with a PG rated story. I'm guessing there are other Joakim Noah stories. I just want to make a couple comments. First of all, your setup sounds sweet, because my freshman year at Duke, I was in one single dorm room with two other players. There were 3 of us. There were 3 beds in the room. And it was awful. And then I also like how you anecdotally just said we didn't have cars or anything at Florida. You just had to put that in there. I didn't ask if you had a car.
Well, because people right away are like, oh, like, you guys had, like, no, we walked everywhere. We bussed everywhere. We didn't even have bikes.
Yeah.
And we had friends that had cars, and we were always hitting people up. Hey, can you give us a ride here? Can you give us a ride there? Yeah. So I just wanted to make that
okay.
point.
All right. Do you, we're going to wrap here. I want to be cognizant of your time, and we appreciate it, but we're starting the NCAA tournament today. Arizona Wildcats already lost. Really hyped about that because Richard Jefferson's been talking a lot of shit. With the way college basketball is going, and I mean, historically, there were 15 years in between repeat champions. What you guys were able to accomplish in 2006 and 2007, do you think there's any way that we ever see repeat champions again in NCAA men's basketball?
I think so. I think it's just, it's a matter of time. I don't know if we'll see them like what happened with us, that you have guys returning and repeating, but some of these programs, the type of recruits that they're getting and the way that things are, I'm sure somebody, at some point will repeat again.
I'll take that bet. I'll take that bet.
All right.
We'll circle back.
I'll send you my Venmo in 20 years. All right. We're going to give it a 20-year time.
You got it.
We hope you had fun with us today. We hope you laughed. We hope you had fun with us today. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button.